Most people think they know what a tiger would do if left alone with a child. But what happened behind the curtain at this circus shattered every expectation. A toddler slipped away during a backstage tour. A tiger's gate was left ajar. The stage was set for disaster. Until the tiger stepped forward and did something no one could explain. The tiger paces. Its massive paws glide over the sawdust floor, muscles shifting beneath striped fur, breath heavy in the humid air. Behind the safety of a barred enclosure, it waits, silent, watching. Outside, the circus is alive with shrill trumpets, distant cheers, and laughter bubbling from a crowd that has no idea what's about to unfold. And in the middle of it all, a toddler wanders into the tiger's path. It starts innocently enough. The backstage tour is in full swing, weaving guests through the stables, costume wagons, and animal prep zones. Flashbulbs pop. A juggler tosses pins nearby, entertaining a half circle of kids while parents murmur to each other. No one notices the smallest one, curly-haired, sticky fingers, blue hoodie, slip out beneath the velvet rope and into a dim corridor flanked by canvas tarps and crates. The air changes here. It's quieter. He toddles forward, little shoes crunching on straw. A red light above a doorway blinks. A gate creaks. And then, silence. The toddler rounds a corner and enters a holding ring. A wide circular space surrounded by steel bars and wood-paneled fencing. At the far end, a latch dangles. Not quite shut, a set of amber eyes gleam through the shadows behind it. The child giggles, points. The tiger moves. In one slow-motion moment, the door to the holding cage swings open on a bad hinge. The animal steps into the open, almost silently, ears forward, whiskers twitching. The toddler claps, delighted. Backstage, a tech assistant glances up at a monitor and freezes. "Oh no," he whispers. Another worker leans over his shoulder, eyes bulging as the feed sharpens. "We've got a breach. It's Simba, and there's a kid in there." An alarm is about to be raised, but it's already too late. Inside the ring, the tiger circles once, then again. The child spins with it, laughing, thinking this is a game, but to the crew watching from the monitor room, it's not a game, it's a countdown. Handlers rush down the corridor. "Get a net! Tranquilizers," someone barks. "We can't fire near a kid." The lead animal coordinator skids to a stop at the curtain, rips it aside, and freezes. Simba has stopped. The tiger stares at the child, low to the ground now. Muscles taut. Not aggressive, but intense. Focused. As if remembering. The child looks back, his tiny fingers outstretched toward the massive creature. The tiger's breath rumbles in its chest. Not a growl, something lower, softer, almost familiar. Every second feels like a razor blade sliding down the spine of every adult watching. A single mistake could turn this moment into tragedy. And yet, for now, they are still. Watching, waiting. Gasps ripple through the backstage corridor. The curtain hangs open, framing a scene no one dares to enter. Simba, nearly 400 pounds of pure muscle and memory, circles the child slowly, massive paws barely making a sound on the sawdust. The toddler sits in the center of the ring, clapping and smiling, utterly unaware of the danger. No one breathes, no one moves. The tiger crouches low and exhales, a long, slow chuff, not hostile, but calculated. His eyes never leave the boy, not once. One twitch, one scream could set everything off. But the tiger doesn't strike. Instead, he sniffs the air and nudges the ground with his paw. "He's playing," someone whispers, horrified. "He thinks he's playing." "He's stalking," snaps a handler. "That's instinct kicking in." "No," says another voice. "That's recognition." The security team holds position just outside the curtain. They're armed but hesitant. One dart and it's over, one misfire and the tiger could lash out or fall on the child. Either way, it's a risk no one's willing to take. The animal coordinator radios the main tent. We've got an emergency. Crowd control now. Evacuate quietly. Say it's a prop failure. Inside the ring, Simba shifts again. The child crawls a few inches closer, straight toward the tiger's face. No, 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 someone gasps. But Simba doesn't roar, doesn't paw. Instead he sits, head tilted, tail thumping once. The kind of movement you'd expect from a house cat, not a fully grown predator. The boy reaches out. His hand brushes the tiger's whiskers. The room outside erupts in controlled chaos, someone retching into a trash bin, a handler praying aloud, trainers gripping tranquilizer rifles with trembling hands. But none of it pierces the bubble around the ring. That's when he arrives. A man, mid-60s, slow-moving, worn leather boots and a faded red jacket, walks with a slight limp into the viewing area. The retired trainer, name's Gus. He doesn't speak, just stares, then squints at the screen. "It's him," Gus mutters. The lead handler turns. "You know the kid?" "No," Gus says. "The tiger." Everyone pauses. "That's Simba, right? Born backstage 8 years ago. Mother rejected the litter. He was raised by hand, bottle-fed, crate-trained, slept in the break room for 2 years." The room quiets. "Back then," Gus continues, "Simba wasn't alone. There was a baby boy. One of the performers had a son, same age. They were raised side by side. That tiger knew nothing but love for that kid." A long beat. "You think he remembers?" "I know he does." Inside the ring, the tiger lowers his head. His nose nearly touches the boy's knee. The toddler looks up and giggles. Simba blinks slowly and lets out another chuff. Calmer now. A handler murmurs, "This isn't a standoff. It's a reunion." The boy's parents arrive, sobbing, breathless, held back by security. But the real story is still unfolding inside the ring, and no one knows how it's going to end. The crowd outside the ring grows, but no one dares step inside. Cameras are rolling now. News crews are arriving. Security is whispering into radios, but no one makes a move. Inside the ring, it's just a boy, and a tiger who hasn't taken his eyes off him for minutes. The toddler pats the ground with both hands. Simba responds with a low, rhythmic sound, deep and steady, almost like a purr. And that's when Gus steps forward. The retired trainer brushes past the handlers. "I need to speak to him," he says. His voice is calm, but urgent. "I need to try something." "You're not going in there," the lead handler protests. Gus ignores him. He hobbles to the curtain, draws a deep breath, and calls out, quietly but firmly, "Simba!" The tiger's ears flick toward the sound. His head lifts. He rises slowly, massive shoulders shifting as he turns. Gus doesn't flinch. "It's me, buddy. It's Gus. You remember?" Simba takes 2 slow steps toward the curtain. The toddler follows, waddling beside him like they're in sync. Gasps echo backstage. "What is happening?" someone murmurs. Gus continues, voice softer now. "I used to tuck you in with that old circus blanket. You used to fall asleep with your nose in it. You remember that?" The tiger pauses, then lets out a long, low chuff. Gus turns to a junior handler. "Get me the blue trunk from the old props room, bottom shelf." She sprints off. A minute passes. Inside the ring, the toddler sits down and starts stacking bits of straw into a pile. Simba lies down next to him, head resting beside the boy's foot. Calm, still, gentle. Gus speaks to no one in particular. "There was a performer, Sasha, acrobat, had a baby boy, spent a lot of time backstage, and Simba was a cub back then. They played together, constantly. They even napped on the same mat." "Where are they now?" someone asks. "Sasha left the circus 6 years ago. Kid would have been, 1 or 2? Moved to Canada? We lost touch." The handler returns with the trunk. Inside, neatly folded and a little dusty, is a faded red and yellow circus blanket. Gus takes it, steps forward, holds it out past the curtain, letting it catch the breeze. "Come on, boy, you know this." Simba's head lifts. His eyes fix on the cloth. He rises slowly, every movement controlled, deliberate, not aggressive, curious. The toddler laughs again and reaches toward the blanket. A handler raises a tranquilizer gun, but Gus stops him with one look. "You fire that, we lose everything." Simba pads closer, eyes locked on the blanket. He sniffs the air, then gently nudges the cloth with his nose. He exhales in a slow, heavy breath, then turns his head and licks the toddler's arm. The room is stunned. Gus lowers the blanket, his voice breaking just slightly. He never forgot. The mystery is no longer about what might happen. Now it's about why this tiger remembered when everyone else had moved on. Simba stands still, inches from the toddler, nose twitching. The boy coos softly, brushing his tiny hand against the tiger's fur as if petting a family dog. Everyone watching wants to scream, but no one moves. Even the air seems to hold its breath. One wrong step, one loud noise, and this moment could unravel in an instant. Handlers line the curtain, their fingers tremble on tranquilizer triggers. The boy's parents sob quietly, pressed to the backstage barrier. Security radios buzz, but no one issues a final order, because no one knows what this tiger will do next. Gus inches forward, blanket still in hand. "We need him to associate the memory with calm," he says, "with safety, with the boy." "Are you saying he thinks this is the same child?" someone asks. "No," Gus answers. "I'm saying he remembers that feeling, that closeness, that trust, and for some reason, this kid brought it back." The toddler lays his head against Simba's shoulder. A ripple of gasps echo around the room. Gus steadies himself. "I'm going in." "No way," a handler snaps. Gus doesn't stop. "He knows me. He always did." He ducks under the velvet curtain and enters the ring. Simba lifts his head slowly. His eyes track Gus with an almost human weight. The child sits quietly beside the tiger, watching, curious, but unafraid. Gus speaks softly. "You're okay, big guy. I'm just coming close, same way I used to." Simba doesn't growl, doesn't move. His breathing is deep, rhythmic, a statue of calm and coiled strength. Gus crouches, placing the blanket down. "This is yours. You remember the smell, the feel of it." The trainer shifts the cloth closer, careful not to touch the boy. He lays the blanket beside the child, then backs away, giving them both space. A strange thing happens. Simba lowers his head and places his paw over the corner of the blanket. Gus swallows. "He's anchored now," he whispers. "This is the moment." Two handlers edge toward the opposite side of the ring, one with a padded animal shield, the other with arms ready to grab the child. They move like ghosts. The toddler turns toward them. For a split second, Simba's ears twitch, but Gus lifts the blanket again and whistles, softly. The tiger looks back, still calm, still still. The first handler lunges. In a blink, he snatches the boy into his arms. The tiger rises to his feet, fast, but Gus intercepts. He kneels, pressing the blanket to Simba's chest. "Easy! It's okay! It's me!" Simba freezes, breathing hard, ears back, eyes wild, but not attacking. Gus holds firm. The tiger slowly lowers his head, bumping the cloth with his nose, then sits again. The child, now cradled in the handler's arms, begins to cry, not from fear, but confusion. He looks back at the tiger over the man's shoulder. Simba just watches. The ring empties. The child is safe. But no one, not even Gus, moves for a long while. Because they all just saw something they can't explain. The footage spreads before the sun sets. By morning, it's everywhere. A tiger, a toddler, and a moment no one can explain. News anchors replay the clip on loop. The boy laughing, the tiger circling, the quiet calm that followed. Commentators argue, was it instinct, training, or something deeper? At the circus grounds, calm returns, but only on the surface. The toddler is back in his parents' arms, wrapped in a soft blanket, eyes still wide, but smiling. He's fine, not a single scratch. The only mark left on him is invisible. Simba lies in his enclosure, quiet, not pacing, not agitated. Still, like something inside him has shifted. Gus sits on a hay bale nearby, hands clasped, staring through the bars. He doesn't speak for a long time. Finally, he mutters, "That tiger was never dangerous, just misunderstood." Trainers nod but stay silent. They've never seen anything like it. And no one wants to say it aloud, but it felt like the tiger knew the boy, not as an individual, but as a memory. In the days that follow, the circus receives floods of calls, some furious, demanding answers, condemning safety failures. Others are reverent, moved, inspired. People who saw something gentle in the eyes of a predator, something human. An animal rights group shares the footage with a caption that goes viral. He didn't forget. Maybe animals never do. Back at the ring, Gus digs through an old storage chest and finds what he's been looking for: a scrapbook, faded photos, Simba as a cub, tiny paws on the same blanket, a performer's baby laughing beside him, shared bottles, shared naps. One photo shows the baby clutching the tiger's ear, face pressed to fur. Gus flips the page. There's a note scribbled in pen: two souls raised together, one wild, one small, but neither afraid. He sighs, shuts the book. Maybe it wasn't the boy he remembered, he says. Maybe it was how it felt. Safe, warm, trusted. The Toddler's family leaves town quietly. They decline most interviews, overwhelmed by attention. The mother clutches her son and whispers, "He was never in danger." I don't know how I know that, but I do. Later that week, the boy draws a picture with crayons, a big orange cat beside a small stick figure. He shows it to his mom. "Simba," he says. She smiles, tender, shaken, proud. As for the tiger, life returns to normal, or close to it. But something in him has changed. He no longer paces. He seems calmer, more present. And every night he curls up on that same faded blanket, like it still means something. Gus visits often, sits with him, talks to him, sometimes about the past, sometimes just quietly. "We're all just trying to remember who we were before the world made us forget," Gus says one evening. You remembered." The tiger blinks slowly, relaxed. Not everything needs words. Some memories live in the body. And sometimes, even when forgotten by everyone else, a tiger remembers. Some moments defy explanation. In a place built for spectacle, one tiger reminded the world that memory runs deeper than instinct, and that even the wildest creatures carry echoes of love, trust, and connection. Whether it was the scent, the sound, or something softer, we'll never understand. Simba remembered. And for one child, that memory made all the difference. If this story moved you, share it. Comment below with your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe for more true animal stories that reveal just how deep their hearts really go.